My name is Tara Magitz. I'm an attorney with the law offices of Drinkwater and Goldstein. We're in Atco, New Jersey, which is in Camden County, New Jersey. And so pretty much every time I do a video, we're talking about New Jersey law primarily. I may be talking about and have talked about various topics that are going to be seen in various states, but the law that I'm talking about is specific to New Jersey. So today's topic is going to be on DWIs, or driving while intoxicated, which is also sometimes called driving under the influence. In New Jersey, it's considered a serious offense. It at times can result in some significant penalties if you are found guilty of the crime. Now, in New Jersey, as in several other states, the legal ability to drive is considered a privilege. It's not considered a right. And in that privilege, New Jersey's legislature saw fit to put in that you do not have the right to refuse to be tested if a police officer believes that you are under the influence. Now, there are some steps to get there that I want to talk about first, though. Initially, if the police officer pulls you over, he may not or she may not believe that you are in fact under the influence, although it's possible that you were pulled over because they suspect that you are under the influence, because maybe you failed to maintain your lane, or you were driving slowly, or you were driving extremely quickly, or someone called and said that you had been seen to be drinking at a local establishment and that they believe that you were under the influence and unfit to drive or impaired. So the police officer pulls you over. Now, the police officer is viewing you and observing you from the time of the initial interaction. So how you respond in terms of being asked to roll down the window, in being asked to provide your license, registration, and insurance, your ability to respond to those requests, both verbally and in following through with the actions that are being asked of you. So if you repeatedly say, "What are you looking for?" the police officer is going to take note of the fact that you've just slurred your words, you've not been able to clearly express yourself, and that you're asking for the officer to repeat what was stated of you and what is requested of you. Similarly, if you go to respond to the officer's request and take out your license, your registration, and your insurance information, and you appear to be fumbling with those documents, or you don't have the ability to hold on to them, that's another observation that the police officer is making in coming to a conclusion that in their training and experience that you are under the influence and that your ability to drive has been impaired. If the police officer comes to the conclusion that you are under the influence and that your ability to drive is impaired, they may request that you step out of the vehicle to undertake standardized field sobriety tests. There are a variety of standardized field sobriety tests, but the ones that I see most frequently in my practice are the horizontal gaze nystagmus test, which is a test where they ask you to follow their fingers from side to side. And how your eyes respond to that is what they're actually looking for. Similarly, with the heel-toe test, where they ask you to walk with one foot right in front of the other on a straight line, heel to toe, heel to toe. And then the third test that I see most frequently is the one-leg stand, where they ask you to stand on a leg of your choosing and raise the other one up with your hands at your sides, and count to usually 10 or 15 seconds or so, to the count of 10 or 15 before they say to go ahead and put the leg down. If you perform poorly on any of these tests, that in conjunction with the prior observations that have been made of you may cause the officer to definitively conclude that you are in fact under the influence and therefore place you under arrest for suspicion of DWI. At that point, the officer will transport you back to the station, and after a period of observation, which is a statutory requirement and a legal requirement due to case law, they will ask you to undergo a test into where you blow into a machine. and the machine gauges your blood alcohol level, because in New Jersey, the legal limit for our purposes is 0.08. So if your blood alcohol level is above a 0.08, then in New Jersey you are considered to be under the influence or impaired, and therefore potentially guilty of driving while intoxicated or driving under the influence. And if you choose to refuse to undergo and blow into the machine, which is called the alco test, then under New Jersey law, because you have a driver's license, you are guilty of refusal, because you do not have the right legally to refuse to undergo this test. So at that point, if you have refused to take the alco test, then you are going to be issued a ticket for refusal, and you are going to be issued a ticket for being under the influence. Now, those are rather significant because there are penalties if you are found guilty or are convicted of a DWI. If it is your first offense and you are found to have a blood alcohol level between 0.08 and 0.099, so less than 0.10%, then you are looking at a driver's license suspension of 3 months, along with various assorted fines. If your blood alcohol level is above a 0.10, then you are looking at a suspension of between 7 months and 12 months, various fines. And if you are above a 0.15, then you are looking at having an ignition interlock device having to be legally required installed onto your vehicle. Now, the ignition interlock device is something that is installed onto your vehicle, and it requires that you blow into the device, where the device determines what your blood alcohol level is and determines whether or not it's going to turn your car on. Because if you're under the influence or have alcohol content within your blood, then it's not going to turn on your motor vehicle and you're not going to be able to drive. So if you are convicted or plead guilty to a DWI, you're going to face significant financial penalties, not only in the form of the fines that are going to be assessed by the municipal court, but also by New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission, which is going to charge you a surcharge of $1,000 a year for 3 years. Your insurance for your motor vehicle is going to significantly go up, and then you have incidental costs that you are most likely going to incur. So I strongly encourage you, if you have received a ticket for DWI, for a refusal charge, for a minor DWI, or any other kind of sort of ticket, DWI with a minor, that you should seek out experienced DWI counsel, because there are defenses that are available and options that are available to you that may result in a significant plea amendment that downgrades the ticket that you are facing and therefore the penalties that you are facing, all the way through to outright dismissal of the tickets. This is a field that we practice in here at Drinkwater and Goldstein. If you're in the local area, please give us a call. The initial consultation is free, and we are always happy to see if we can be of any assistance. Please feel free to contact us if you have received a DWI or any sort of municipal court ticket, and we are happy to see whether or not we can be of assistance to you. Until next time, I'm Tara McGitz from the Law Offices of Drinkwater and Goldstein. See you next time.